Hey everyone, this is Baby B.
And I'm Daddy D.
And welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to discuss how we define family. But before we get to that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Like the video, and if you like what you hear, share it with other people so they can hear what we have to say.
And turn on that bell so that you can get notifications on when we have new videos coming out.
Which is usually Sunday around 1 p.m. Pacific time.
Every Sunday. Okay, so family. Family means a lot of different things to people, but in general, I think family is like the people who you didn't really get to choose, you were just born into. So it's like you had a mom, biological mom, and a biological dad at one point, right? Can we agree that that's kind of a thing? And then whatever child that they've had in the same, lifetime as you, they're your siblings. Yes?
So I think that's more of like a legal definition of your family.
I'm starting out with what general people know of, what is a family.
Yes, and in that same vein, generally speaking, the family that you learn to have when you are young are not chosen. You are born into a group of people who care about you and support you.
Who hopefully care about you.
Yes, very much hope that they care about you. And they raise you until you're responsible enough to take care of yourself. How do you think that changes? Does that change at all as you get older?
Well, so I can backtrack a little bit and talk about how some people, in my family, I have an uncle who came into our family by marriage. So he had a previous relationship with another woman. They had 2 kids. I don't think they ever got married, and he still considers them his children, loves them very much, and they are my step cousins. And so legally they are my family, but I'm not very close to them. I've only met them at family gatherings before, and that's kind of our interaction with it. So I don't know if I would actually call them family per se. And that could be a lot of, that could be a whole new can of worms that we open up. It's what about stepfathers or stepmothers, right? Who are, kind of married into the family and are there in your lives. And because of the people who are there, and if they are nurturing, they become your father or your mother, right?
Well, along the same lines of legally being recognized as family, in that same way, you can disown parts of your family. So you can reject at some point that if you are the son, daughter, child, parent of someone.
The biological douches who either left or were too irresponsible to continue being in the family and had to be cut off.
That was some strong words. Okay.
But it's true, because there's some biological douchebags out there, and that's why they are no longer considered family, even though they are the true, DNA givers to the child.
I mean, some people, as I know from experience, weren't even around to be your family. So in that regard, they have never been family. They've only ever been 50% of your genetic makeup. But going back to choosing your family, if you already have one or don't, you can choose to remove someone from your family, disown them, or just reject them. And ultimately, that still boils down to a decision that you make regarding what you consider to be your family. So where do you think the turning point is from being just a person to family, even through friendship, relationships, or anything else like that?
So I think in my life, after school, I probably only have less than a handful of friends that I still talk to this day and like care about, who I would consider my like my college family, because we dormed together for like 4 years straight. Whenever I go visit, you know, their city, I always mention that to them, and they make the time to say hi, and we have a meal together. So, and I always have a place to stay, and likewise, if they come here, they're always welcome to stay at my place, because that's just, you know, how close we are and comfortable we are. We've lived together already, so we know each other's habits. And by this time, we're hopefully adults, so we can take care of each other or take care of ourselves in the spaces. But I feel like that was my initial experience of like family outside of my own biological family. And then like as I got older, after I exited school, the next level would be like work family, because you see these people 8+ hours a day, and you work on the same projects, you complain about the same things, and you bond over the hardships and the sweat and tears that you pour into your work, and then you create something together, and then you see it live, and you're like, oh my god, that's our baby going out into the world. And yeah, so I would say that. And then you go out to happy hour, or you used to go out to happy hour, and you know, you say happy birthday to each other, have cupcakes, whatever. And I still talk to a lot of the people who I went to work with throughout all my different jobs when I was working 9 to 5 corporately. And so I would say that's like my second thing. And then the third thing I think is like now my chosen family, which is like my very close friends. And I don't have a lot of friends because friendship means like, it's a big deal to me. I feel like the people who I choose to stay in my life, it's like, will go after me if I get stuck out in the desert and my car breaks down and I call someone for help, and those few people will actually come out and get me. Like, that's who I think is family. And that's who I would want to spend my time and energy with, is people who will care about me. And I would do the same for them too. Things that go both ways, and we have similar interests and goals in life, and you know, stuff like that.
Okay. Was there a defining characteristic beyond the just? I mean, you say these people would do that, but what earned that capability in their life for them and with you?
Trust. I think like building bonding moments over time. Like I said, I only surround myself with people who are kind of like-minded with me, so they have to have goals in life and aspirations. They have to be working towards those things. They have to be actually working and not just like, you know, being lackadaisical about things. They have to like, you know, push towards a dream, and if they can't make money off of that right now, maybe they're doing something else to do that, and then doing their dreams on the side. And you know, maybe we listen to the same music and bond over that, or they show me new art, or maybe they make art of me or of each other, you know, stuff like that. It sounds so like almost childlike when I say that, like your childhood friend, but I feel like those people who have those roots with those other people, they stay friends forever because of that foundation. What about you? What do you think?
Well, when you say your childhood friends, those are typically a good place to look for a long-term friendship, simply because they were there when you were discovering who you were. And in that same regard, they were figuring out things themselves, so you grew alongside each other, and that allowed you to bond over mutual experience in regards to becoming who you are today.
When you say childhood, because I grew up in multiple cities, so I never really had like the same friends, so I couldn't have a childhood friend. Did you stay in one city and who would you consider your childhood friend? Like, what age range was that for you?
It was from the last year of junior high school into high school is the only time that I stayed consecutively through in one school. Before that, it was different schools, different states. I'm not the kind of person who grew up with someone that I've known since I was 5 years old, or a neighbor that I've known for almost 30 years or something. My childhood friend I've still known for 28 years now. No, not 28. 18 years now.
I was going to say, how old are you?
I know. Not that old. I've known them for 18 years. And we don't talk as much anymore, but definitely consider him someone who knows the most about me. And I've been able to talk to him openly and directly about anything in my life, as well as he's done the same to me. And we completely understand that anything that we say to the other person will never be in ill guidance or some form of damaging way. We're always looking out for the best in each other. And I think that's what, as a friend, he's the closest friend that I have that I would consider family. Even though I don't feel like we talk as much as we should, it's still a relationship that means that much to me, that I value his opinion constantly. And if he were to say something to me, I know it is in my best interest as well.
Do you think it's because you grew up together and kind of like shared like growing pains of, you know, going through high school together, and then like figuring out how to live by yourselves because you lived with each other right afterwards? And so do you think that kind of had to do with it too?
Absolutely. And I mean, it was something that persisted through different parts of my life, and it wasn't just like, oh, this is in high school, or oh, this is in college, or anything after that. It was, or anything individual like that. He was there for that and more and beyond, and even now. So he's around, he's just not here all the time.
Do you think your relationship picks up, like if you don't talk to him often, do you think it just picks up right where it left off?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Nothing, like, it's like we just finished the last conversation, we pick up and then we go right back to where we were, or where we're going from there.
So with my friends, I actually feel like we grow together every single time. Like we do pick off from where we left, but also like we're still growing. And I really like that because, you know, things happen in our lives individually, and then when we reconvene and like share it again, it's like, oh wow, a lot of things happened to you, or wow, that really awesome thing happened to you. And it sucks I wasn't there to see it live, but it's really cool to hear after the fact that you told me, and you know, I can congratulate and celebrate with them afterwards too. That's really cool. And I want to, because because we have that family dynamic, like I want to celebrate with them and throw it on a party and be like, woohoo, you did it. You know.
So I think what we're both trying to say in this regard is family isn't always what you're given. It is mostly what you choose. You can and often do choose who to keep as family, friends, acquaintances. Every stage of relationship has its merits, and it's a very powerful thing to experience. I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there that your expectation for what you consider family ranges wildly from one person to another. So you'll have someone who could have a lot of family, and then some people almost, I mean, you say you're very specific about what you consider to be family, but there may even be more scrutinizing people than you out there in considering how much family they have.
Yeah, because like I've known you know, families that had like 60 plus cousins, and I'm not kidding, like that's their real like number. They had 60 something cousins. They didn't even know all of them, but like how can that person, like that person felt so alone in their world, despite like having people, that many people in their family, because they didn't get to know each of them one at a time. And then some of them weren't even their age, so there were generation gaps, and they weren't living in the same city at the same time. So like, doesn't matter the number, it's the quality and not quantity.
Yeah, I actually found out just this last weekend that I'm only 10 years younger than my youngest aunt, and my next oldest cousin just turned 14.
Yeah.
So I'm like 17 years older than my next cousin and 10 years younger than my next older than me aunt. So it's a very interesting kind of generational situation we have, where we have family. I mean, my sister's very close in age, only 2 years different, and we definitely feel like we're from the same generation, even if we don't always get along or anything, but we definitely understand living in the now as each other. But
I also feel like once you get older, once you get older, the generation gap kind of closes a bit, because once you're like adults, you kind of get it.
yeah,
Like when you're younger, you fight a lot, or maybe you just don't get each other because everybody's still figuring their stuff out. But like once you get to a point where you're just like, nah, I'm this kind of person, and then everybody sees you for that person, they're like, okay, cool. Now we know what kind of person you are, and we vibe with you, we don't vibe with you. Then, stuff goes from there.
you get to have a better judge of character as you've seen people either impress you or disappoint. So depending on what you've gone through, definitely, or depending on what you've gone through at what point in your life, will determine how quickly you can adapt to choosing the important and less important people in your life and prioritizing your experiences with them.
Yeah. Comment below on what you think, family means to you. Does it mean you're biological one? Do you have people at work that you can go out with and that there are your sisters and brothers? Do you have your own type of tribe where you're like, okay, I like these people and they're the ones who invite me to Friendsgiving or whatever when I don't have any place to go, or when I don't have, parents to go back home to, and you choose to hang out with these people because they are like a collective that resonate with who you are and what you aspire to be.
And if you agree or disagree, please let us know as well. We're not professionals in any way
It's just a
regarding
topic we're talking
this.
about.
This is our personal beliefs, and we just want to know what other people think as well, simply because we're trying to figure it out along with you. So if you have any tips, tricks for maybe some people who are trying to figure out who their family is, leave them below and let us know.
Or we could be your family too on the internet. See, we have like a YouTube family too going on.
Our YouTube family. Well, we'll see you in the next video.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it so that others can find our video and start discussing with us. Subscribe and hit that bell so that you know when our next videos come out.
And share this video with anyone that you think might find it interesting.
Until next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.